Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
After having passed through a few years of life, I have decided I prefer to be happy. It's only taken me a few years to figure that out, and I'm sure many of you it's taken a while for you to figure it out too. For you to be asked and say, well, of course, it's so obvious. But then you look and you see what you're living, and how does that translate into happiness? So, we talk about wanting to be free. We're about as free as we allow ourselves to be. We are constantly being programmed, encouraged to be anything but free. We are being told, you need to have more. Here, we'll help you do that. And you don't even need to have cash to do it. We'll give you credit. And your credit will extend for the rest of your life. Then you can have all the things you want, all the things that you need. And in that, you'll be able to enjoy life. The funny thing is, though, after a while, you start feeling that that isn't quite working out the way you've been told it was going to work out. As a matter of fact, you start realizing that with all the things that I own, how much do they really translate into me being able to enjoy my life? And then not only that, but I've been told that it's what happens to me that determines how I'm really going to be able to enjoy my life. And we can end right there. And if we do, then you're going to stay imprisoned, because that's the design of it. And if you stay there, then you're going to start developing attitudes about life that reveal themselves in the way that you treat yourself and the way that you treat others. You're not going to act free at all. As a matter of fact, you're going to act very, very confined. And this has been called taking on the role of a victim. Let me give you an idea about victims. I know that in some distant place you've heard about them. Victims relish in anger, in revenge, in guilt. They relish in finding fault and blaming others, even blaming themselves, because then that confirms their status in life, failing to realize what a confirmation. So being a victim is something that we're all familiar with. If you don't live it yourself, your neighbor does. You may have even come from a family of victims. Somehow or another, it doesn't touch you. Somehow or another, it seems that we go into a state of unconscious living. And we find that it feels completely appropriate to hold judgment and blame toward others and their actions. We even extend that to ourselves, failing to realize what we're actually doing to ourselves in the process. Liberation. Now, this is the part where I said it took me a few years. Okay, liberation. To find out, what does that really mean? What does that really imply? I've gone to others, I've taken courses, I've bought books, all in the attempt and with the underlying belief that it was going to be someone else or something else that was actually going to save me. That I was going to somehow or another experience freedom that I would never again find myself feeling like a victim. Well, here's the news, ladies and gentlemen. We're constantly playing victim, and then we're also trying out something else. That something else I'll just call creator, for lack of a better word right now. Instead of giving away your life and letting others be responsible for it, and you finding fault with the way they're handling it, you take on the responsibility to yourself. You say, okay, I'm going to discover what it means to be a creator. I'm going to see if I can figure that out, and I'm going to do it by living it. Well, as you take that on, you find you start experiencing liberation. And it isn't liberation from others as much as it is liberation from yourself. You start feeling a sense of freedom welling up within you because you're taking responsibility for yourself and your life instead of giving it over to others and then moaning and groaning about the way they handle it. And there's still plenty of opportunity to live out victim right now. Look at the president we have. Isn't that just classic example of being able to give over your responsibility and blame because of the way this one individual is causing the whole country to be? Unless, of course, you see yourself not involved in that. And you choose to rise up in yourself and say, you know what? I know that there are really powerful people in this world whose sole intention is to take over my life and my joy and my happiness. And I choose not to let them do it. And I choose not to let anyone else, regardless of their awareness or not. I'm going to choose to be free, and I'm not going to blame others for what's happening to me. I'm going to take the responsibility of creating my life in such a way that I enjoy me being me. You see, you can go through all of this complexity and get right down to the basic, simplistic fact that it's always my choice, it's always your choice as to what we choose to live. If we choose to live in harmony with ourselves, then we're going to have to find out what harmony is. If we choose to live in peace with ourselves, then we're going to have to find out what peace is. And the same is true for love. The same is true for gratitude. The same is true for well-being. The same is true for health. We have to find out what those things are to us personally and live them, and then in the process of living them, we experience liberation. And are we then caught up and inclined to blame somebody else or even ourselves for our state? No. Because you see, the more you practice this, the more you live this, the more it registers in you. This is what is meant by I am the one I've been looking for. I am the one who has solution for my life. Others may have lived it and be able to give me examples of what they've discovered, but I still have to experience it for myself. If I do, then I'm not going to be inclined at all to be caught up in blame. But if perchance I find myself blaming myself or blaming someone else for what's going on right now, I'll look at that. And instead of just going unconscious and reacting to it, I'll look at that and see, is this actually going to make me feel better about myself if I blame? Am I really going to feel whole and complete? Is this going to add to my sense of health and happiness? And if I'm being honest with myself, I'm going to say, well, hell no. How could it possibly? And then I give myself the opportunity to make a change right there and to go to being a creator instead of a victim. And if I choose to be a creator, then I'm going to think, I'm going to recall what it is that I need to do in order to experience the liberation of a creator. I need to be positive. I need to generate positive thoughts. I need to generate positive feelings. I need to channel them into positive actions. And if I do, I'm going to experience me being a creator at this time in this way, and I gain the benefits of it. Because the way life works, whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever you do, is going to register as manifestation in your life to get your attention so you can see what you're doing. Gee, it's really simple, isn't it? And all of this stuff of, God, I need to go out and buy a new car. My car is 17 years old. I need to get a new car. Look at how well I would look if I had a new car. What am I doing wearing these rags? I've had this suit damn years old as long as I am. Old. I need to get a new suit. I need to get new shoes. Oh, don't look at them. I need to shine them too. All these things that we are taught and programmed to believe are going to make us happy are so much an illusion. But we'll buy into it until we trade it out for something better that we discover is within us and is about us, that leaves us clear and clean without the need for shame or blame. And don't take my word for it. That won't work. Never will. Never has. You've got to try it yourself and try it long enough to where it reveals itself as your truth about you. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.